Hi, it's Maunder from Production Expert. In this video, I'll be going over my top 6 Waves plugins for audio post, starting out with WLM+. This is a loudness meter which includes presets for a wide range of loudness specs, including EBUR128, ATSC A85, Netflix, YouTube, Spotify, and a whole range of others. WLM+ also includes a true peak limiter, which you can activate to ensure your mix doesn't go over the maximum peak level for your chosen loudness spec. Also, the plugin provides the option to export a CSV file that documents all of your loudness measurements. This can be opened and viewed in Microsoft Excel. If you find that your loudness is slightly off spec after measuring your finished mix, the trim button in WLM+ will adjust the level of the mix to get it dead on target. Next, we move on to Clarity VX Pro. This is a real-time dialogue noise reduction tool which uses a deep neural network to adaptively isolate even the most complicated background sounds and separate them from the voice. There's a lot that I could say about this plugin, but the best way to convey what it does is to show you. Here's some noisy dialogue.
We really feel that the QSRs are at a disadvantage to us because they have to, one, make all of their revenue through food.
And here it is when I reduce the noise by turning the ambience and voice dial to the right.
We really feel that the QSRs are at a disadvantage to us because they have to, one, make all of their revenue through food and pay for all their labor through food, whereas we can provide a better value.
Clarity VX Pro includes 4 algorithms, which all have their own strengths. Also, when you enable the advanced controls, you get this multiband option, which allows you to set different thresholds for different frequency bands. This is perfect when the noise is more prominent in a particular frequency range, and you want to leave the rest relatively untouched. Next is a related plugin. This is Clarity VXD Reverb Pro. As its name suggests, this is for the removal of reflections and reverberation from dialogue recordings. Here's a demonstration of its basic function. I'm currently standing in a tiled bathroom. It's a dreadful place to make a recording, however, it's very good for the purposes of this test. It's an extremely effective reverb reduction tool, and in this Pro version we have additional controls, including these frequency-based threshold controls which allow us to selectively increase or decrease the sensitivity in different frequency areas. Here's a recording which would benefit from this, first with no processing. This reverb has a lot of energy, around 2 kHz. Hopefully we can effectively reduce this using the graph nodes in Clarity VX D-Reverb Pro. And now with some reverb reduction dialed in and particular emphasis around the 2 kHz range. This reverb has a lot of energy, around 2 kHz. Hopefully we can effectively reduce this using the graph nodes in Clarity VX D-Reverb Pro. Moving on to my next choice, Sync VX. This one is for time aligning ADR with location dialogue. Here's a recording which is a bit rough and would benefit from being replaced with ADR. This is an example of a dialogue recording made on location. And here's part of the ADR which I've recorded to replace this. This is an example of a dialogue recording made on location. If I play these together, you'll hear that there are synchronization discrepancies. This is an example of a dialogue recording made on location, which will then be replaced with ADR and ultimately synced up using Waves Sync VX. Sync VX is an ARA plugin, so I'll right-click in the original clip, and under ARA plugins, I'll choose Sync VX. This opens in the ARA window at the bottom of the edit window, and this recording is going to be the reference, so I just need to click Make Ref. Next, I need to enable Sync VX on the ADR clip. In this case, these are the only clips on the track, so right-clicking like I did before, and then enabling the Sync VX ARA plugin works fine. However, if you had multiple clips on a track, and you wanted to enable the whole track for ARA, you could do that by clicking here, ARA plugin, and then choosing your plugin, Sync VX. Very quickly, and without me changing any settings, Sync VX has done its job, aligning the ADR to the guide location recording. This is an example of a dialogue recording made on location, which will then be replaced with ADR and ultimately synced up using Waves Sync VX. That's a very good result, and there is actually a lot more that you can do with Sync VX. For example, you can use it on vocals to align not only the timing but also pitch. Also, you can have up to 4 references, and other tracks can align to any of them. Very useful. Next, we'll take a look at Sibilance. As you might gather from the name, this is a de-esser, but this one is a bit more clever than most. It uses something which Waves calls organic resynthesis. This is a technology which breaks sound into basic elements like pitch, formant and amplitude before processing takes place. These are used to resynthesize the chosen element. In essence, it's designed to reduce sibilant energy without affecting the rest of the dialogue. Here's a recording which would benefit from this.
Public programmes would need to shoulder more of this cost, with government deficits projected to increase significantly if policies and systems do not change.
Let's activate the Sibilance plugin and see what we can do with it.
Public programmes would need to shoulder more of this cost, with government deficits projected to...
We can monitor just the Sibilance.
Policies and systems
It's worth experimenting with both the mode and detection controls.
shoulder more of this cost, with government deficits projected to increase significantly if policies and systems do not change.
The look-ahead feature introduces more latency but improves detection.
Shoulder more of this cost, with government deficits projected to increase significantly if policies and systems do not change.
Let's move on to the final plugin, which is the L4 Ultra Maximizer. This builds on the legacy of the L1, L2 and L3 limiters and offers 5 modes: modern, smooth, aggressive, safe and L2. Each of these offers a slightly different character, but for use in post, I like the modern mode. The basic operation of L4 is similar to the other Waves limiters in that you set the ceiling to determine the maximum peak level and then pull the threshold down as required. If you want to monitor the effect that the limiter is having on your audio in terms of the actual sound, then the gain match feature is a good option. When this is enabled, L4 disables the ceiling control and removes output gain compensation, allowing you to make easier A/B comparisons. And of course, the whole purpose of gain match is that the perceived output level doesn't change as you adjust the threshold. Also, L4 has a nice graphic display which provides some useful visual feedback. You'll notice here we have a true peak mode. This is extremely useful and actually sometimes critical when working on audio for broadcast, which has to adhere to strict true peak levels. Also, related to this is the loudness meter section, which again is a very handy thing, especially when using this on the master bus of a post session. The display can be switched between short-term, averaged over 3 seconds, and long, which is the all-important integrated loudness. Something which I really like is the incorporation of dither. This allows you to set the quantization to various bit depths up to 24-bit, and also offers the option of Type 1 or Type 2 noise shaping at various different strength levels. Finally, there's an upward compression option, allowing you to lift quieter sections. All in all, the L4 is, in my opinion, the best limiter Waves make, and so that's why I've included it in my list of top Waves plugins for audio post. For more information on these plugins and the entire Waves range, visit waves.com. Thanks for watching.